Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Manchester United are already looking ahead to the future during the international break, with many big decisions in the pipeline for those in power. Ruben Amorim wants to reshape his squad in the summer transfer window, while Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his Ineos leadership team are continuing to make unpopular decisions behind the scenes. United sit 13th in the Premier League, with 9 matches of a miserable campaign remaining. Ratcliffe's first year in charge has not been a successful one, with the petrochemicals billionaire making huge changes in a bid to save money. He has ambitious plans to build a brand new stadium to replace Old Trafford, while he hopes that Amorim will succeed in turning things around on the pitch, as the uncertainty since the departure of Sir Alex Ferguson 12 years ago continues apace. Marcus Rashford's loan move to Aston Villa has started out promisingly, with the United striker getting back into the England squad after a year on the outside thanks to his form. He has contributed 4 assists for Villa since leaving Old Trafford for the rest of the season, and his future is the subject of some speculation. Villa have the chance to make the move permanent, with United hoping they will stump up as much as £60 million to sign him, given Amorim has no interest in offering him a route back into his starting 11. Rashford has previously been tempted to move abroad, with Barcelona one of his favoured destinations. However, that possibility could be a non-starter, with reports in Spain suggesting that Barca are interested in signing Atalanta's Ademola Lookman instead of Rashford. Lookman would cost around £25 million, €30 million, much cheaper than the England forward. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is facing a backlash to his plans to build a new £2 billion, 100,000-seat stadium on the Old Trafford site. Ratcliffe is courting public money for the scheme, which Ineos claims will provide £7.3 billion per year to the UK economy, 92,000 new jobs, more than 17,000 new homes, and 1.8 million more visitors annually. However, Graham Stringer, a Labour MP and former leader of Manchester City Council, believes it is outrageous that Ratcliffe is hoping to use taxpayers' money to further his own business interests. He told The Observer, "The stadium doesn't happen without public funds. Any representations to local or central government for public money to go into this scheme should be refused." Injuries to Altay Bayindir and Tom Heaton have opened the door for a potential appearance for United youngster Ellich Harrison. The Manchester Evening News notes that Harrison has been impressing since being recalled from his loan at National League North side Chester City in January. The 19-year-old goalkeeper was on the bench alongside 22-year-old Dermot Mee for the 3-0 win over Leicester last weekend. The duo were unused substitutes, yet were close to involvement, with Andre Onana battling through illness to play in goal as usual. Harrison has been on the bench for both legs of the Europa League games against Real Sociedad, and for the last 6 Premier League fixtures. He has been praised by under-21's goalkeeping coach Tommy Lee, and could yet be thrust into the spotlight, like young defender Aidan Heaven. Sir Alex Ferguson named the 3 players he feels are the most underrated he managed during his legendary tenure at Manchester United. In a candid chat with Gary Neville, the Scotsman couldn't separate Brian McClair, Park Ji-sung and Ronnie Johnson as the unsung heroes of his time at Old Trafford. The iconic manager, who won an astonishing 49 club trophies, opened up to Sport Bible about his picks. "There's 3 players, I can't split them. Brian McClair, Park Ji-sung and Ronnie Johnson." He also expressed regret over not utilising Park Ji-sung more effectively in the 2011 Champions League final against Barcelona. Ferguson confessed to Neville, "When I watched the final against Barcelona at Wembley, I should have changed at half-time and put Park Ji-sung on Messi, admitting that it was a tactical error on his part. That was a mistake. I realised after 10 minutes and I was going to do it at half-time. But I said, we just equalised before half-time, they might see the game differently, and we may grow into the game better. We're actually quite good in the last 10 minutes of that game, and we could have been in front. But if I had played Park Ji-sung against Messi, I think we would have beat them." The trio of McClair, Park and Johnson continue to be revered by the United faithful, as we take a look at what these Old Trafford legends have been doing since hanging up their boots. The former Manchester United hotshot has evidently switched up his style since hanging up his boots, rocking a bushy grey beard and lengthy locks that have left fans doing double takes. The ex-forward, now 61 and host of Life with Brian podcast, revealed his hairy transformation leads to some entertaining mix-ups with supporters. He said it happens an awful lot more than I ever imagined it would, particularly the fact I'm covered in this lovely grey stuff that's growing out of my face. It's entertaining listening. Sometimes I've been in situations where my name has cropped up and they've no idea it's me, which is pretty bizarre. McClare, known affectionately as Chocky during his playing days, even had a quirky response when people question him on his identity. What I tend to say now when they ask if I'm Brian McClare is, "I used to be," which is quite flummoxing for a lot of people. How can you used to be? Who are you now? What are you now? The Norwegian basked in the glory of a successful stint at Old Trafford, hoisting 3 Premier League trophies alongside an FA Cup and a Champions League winners' medal under Ferguson's tenure. Admired for his versatility on the pitch, Johnson served as a linchpin in defence and midfield across his fruitful 5 seasons with the Red Devils. After his departure from United in 2002, he had brief spells at Aston Villa and Newcastle before hanging up his boots in 2008 after a 3-year stint with Vålerenga in his homeland of Norway. Choosing to pursue his coaching badges, the 55-year-old was named head coach of AIK Tonsberg, a team in Norway's second-tier football league. He only spent a year at the club before being appointed as assistant coach for the Norwegian women's under-23s in 2023. In addition to his coaching responsibilities, Johnson has also dabbled in media, working as a pundit and analyst for United games on Norwegian broadcaster TV2. During his 7 years in Manchester, Park Ji-sung became the most decorated Asian player in history, boasting 4 league titles, a Champions League trophy, and 4 League Cups. The ex-South Korea international played just 2 more seasons before retiring, featuring for Queen's Park Rangers and then returning to his old club PSV Eindhoven for the 2013-14 season. Like Johnson, he chose to complete his coaching badges and took the reins of QPR's under-16 side as part of his coaching B licence. After leaving the West London club, Park joined K-League 1 team Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors as their technical director in 2022. He made some bold moves at the club, including bringing in former Chelsea ace Dan Petrescu as manager. However, the Romanian's tenure was short-lived as he stepped down mid-season. Park then transitioned into an advisory role at the club, which saw another ex-Chelsea player, Gus Poyet, take over the managerial reins last year. Manchester United outcast Jadon Sancho could have a future in Ruben Amorim's system, it has been claimed. The England international has spent the season on loan at Chelsea, but his future beyond this season remains uncertain. Sancho made a loan move to Stamford Bridge at the end of the summer transfer window, with the Blues obligated to make the move permanent for up to £25 million if they finish 14th or higher. However, they are reported to have an option to pay United a smaller sum to cancel the permanent deal. In the early months of the season, it looked like a shrewd bit of business for Chelsea. Sancho delivered 3 assists in his first 3 league matches for the club, and later scored in back-to-back wins in December, but his output has been less impressive of late. After watching Sancho go more than 2 months without a goal or assist, former Chelsea star William Gallas argued the winger needs to be playing somewhere other than Stamford Bridge next season. I don't know what the problem is, but at the moment he can't stay at Chelsea because he has to do more, the Frenchman told Stadium Astro. A return to his parent club might have been impossible with Erik Ten Hag still in charge, but the arrival of Amorim may have opened the door. Indeed, one of Sancho's former coaches can see a way back for the 24-year-old at Old Trafford. Jadon would have to play as a left-sided number 10. I couldn't see him play as a wing-back, Dan Mikisha, who coached Sancho in England's youth setup, told The Sun. Can he play there? Yeah, absolutely. I think he could play for Ruben Amorim in his system. It might actually suit him more in terms of freeing him up. He wouldn't be hugging the touchline as much. He would in middle of the pitch more and would have more options when he gets the ball. United boss Amorim has used a range of players in his 2 number 10 spots, with Bruno Fernandes occupying one of them when not playing in a deeper role. Ahmad was regularly used as a 10 before his injury. while Alejandro Garnacho and Joshua Zirkzee have both been given opportunities. Amorim also used Kobbie Mainoo as a 10 in Europe and suggested the England international could thrive there when fit. Now, more as a 10, you can feel that he was so free. Playing the ball near the box is really good. The small connections, the Portuguese said. We need time to work with the players and understand the best positions for them. Kobbie Mainoo played in a different position, with more freedom, more near the box. He's so technical, he can change the game there. So I think it's a good position for him. We will see. But I'm happy to see Kobbie enjoy the game more. Chelsea may yet decide Sancho has a future at Stamford Bridge. If he gets sent back to his parent club, though, he may well have a bigger part to play than some might have anticipated back in August.